Hello, everybody, welcome to... Why did you just do that?
Why not?
Why not?
Mixing it up a bit.
Alright, guys, today we will be bringing you our top 5 anime moves. Not movies, like I thought it was. Moves. Our number 5, well, I'm going to start with my number 5. My number 5 is the,
Thought you knew it.
I thought I did too. Shit!
You want to get my number 5?
Go ahead.
My number 5 is Neji's 8 trigram palm technique. I think it's so cool when he goes into that mode and you just see like that whole freaking thing pop up, and like sometimes I'm just like, whoa, and he just like he is just going to town on you. You might die. You are not moving, and he is just going to, because Neji is pretty much like Sasuke except older. And he's got the whole entitlement thing, but he is so badass.
And he's got a whole family problem too. He's got
it's kind of a weird thing with that whole family and tribes, but I do love that technique. I think it's one of the most coolest techniques in Naruto. So yeah, that's my number 5.
All right, I'll go with my number 5. I know it now. My number 5 pick is from Naruto Shippuden, the particle jutsu by the 3rd Tsuchikage and the 2nd Tsuchikage.
Mm.
This is a jutsu only known by these two men, number 1. Only these two men know how to use it, and basically what it is you combine wind, earth, and fire styles into this one form called atomic style, or it's called atomic dismantling, where you can dismantle a person at a near molecular level, or you can create a pillar which basically pulverizes anything. So basically, like if you're hit by that pillar, you're finished. If you're trapped in the cube that at the 3rd Tsuchikage makes, you're dead.
Well,
so anyway,
my number 5 is gonna go to Gon from Hunter x Hunter. His Jujunken, which is actually a Japanese for rock paper scissors. It's funny. It's funny because say he's like he does this and he gathers his nen. He's a physical user. He's a physical user, so he can like enhance his strength. Basically, if he does this, it's his fist. If he does this, he cuts someone. If he does this, just launches a blast. And there's one
rock paper scissors. You lose.
If you guys ever see the last fight of Gon's last fight in the series, it is amazing.
You've never heard of this anime, dude.
Hunter x Hunter, it's very popular.
No.
All right. Well,
and it's getting English dub soon.
Cool. I might watch it.
All right. My number 4 is I can't give you the exact name of the technique, but it's in the show Rurouni Kenshin, and it's final technique of his training. Because during the course of the show, it turns out he hasn't finished his training. He left before he finished his training.
He's just OP as can be.
He's just that good. But he finished his training because he has one technique to learn, and this technique is so awesome that he hits you in, I think, 7 different places. Here, like it's like here, and like here, and at the same time. That's how fast it is. It's a unblockable, unguardable move that whenever he pulls it off, you're screwed. Granted, it takes a lot out of him to pull it off, but it's such an awesome move to see because it's like that. You don't even know it just happened. It just boom.
Kenshin is so fast.
And she's already got like godlike speed, so that move is like ridiculous. And only 2 people know it. Him and his master.
And only selected people keep up with him.
And apparently, learning that style, I love that in the episode. He's just like, this style is the fountain of youth? Because they're just like, how old are you? I'm 45. You look like you're 20.
He doesn't think he's 20 years old.
Like, huh? He's 30? Apparently, that style's the fountain of youth. All right, your number 4.
My number 4 is the Spirit Gun, Yu Hakusho. I love the Spirit Gun. I remember that little dude gave it to him, and he was just like, yeah, you can use the Spirit Gun. You only use it once a day, though. And then he
got that and the Spirit Shotgun.
And he's got a couple other moves. I can't remember what they were. So anyway, like I remember when he first used it, like on this really asshole of a teacher he had. He was just like, bullshit, you didn't give me anything. Fine. Spirit gun. He's like, holy shit, did I just do that? And he killed his teacher, basically. Or maybe knocked him. I don't know if he killed him or knocked him out. But then anyway, he learns from a master who was one of the spirit cops before him, this old woman. Mm-hmm. Basically the same voice as Frieza. No, the same voice as who's the witch from Dragon Ball Z? The one,
the witch.
Oh, that weird. The one who sits on the ball.
Baba.
Yeah, Baba. The same voice who did Baba did this woman and trained him how to use spirit energy, which is basically the spirit gun, the shotgun, and all these other powers. So anyway, that's my number 4.
My number 4, I'm gonna give it to the X-Burner from Kentucky Hitman Reborn. Basically, when they were trying to learn new moves to use what he did was Suna wanted to find a way so he could blast out a blast of fire, and the only way he could do that is to use his other hand, use a thrust behind him, and then use the other hand to keep himself balanced. Because so much fire came out of this, he couldn't keep himself back, so he had to use this thruster to keep himself forward while he shot this forward. And dude, it's destructive as Kim. It's so cool.
Sounds kind of cool, actually.
That's kind of OP.
Suna, man, he's the one mafioso in anime, bro. The number he's gonna be the mafia boss. That's what they want him to do.
All right, my number 3 is the Monorasu. No.
The Tsukuyomi.
The Tsukuyomi. You're right. It's the Tsukuyomi. That move.
Only
the
Tsukuyomi guys only known by 2 Uchiha members.
That move is
2.
so
Shisui and Itachi.
It's so intimidating. Like the fact that he could go into your head, torture you for what feels like 100 years, and you haven't even moved in like a minute.
Yeah.
For like a minute in reality, but in your head it's
like 100 years.
100 years, and you've been getting stabbed every day on the daily. Like that is
yeah. As soon as you look into his eyes when he uses it, you're screwed.
The factor of that move alone is just like ooh.
I know, it's just like you can't. I'm not like how can you fight someone without looking directly into their eyes? That's the whole thing. And then guy comes in and says, "Look at his feet."
Well, he's like, I've been fighting Kashi for years. I know how to do this.
True. All right, my number 3. My number 3 was the Amaterasu.
Okay, we had the same number 3.
My number 3. No.
It's the black.
Basically, the Amaterasu is the Mangekyo Sharingan's other technique, which allows you to create a black flame, which is a flame that never goes out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also apparently it's so cold, or you don't feel heat off of it, but you do burn at it. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, like it never goes out, but it does take a lot of power to use it.
Yeah, it takes. It's hard to put. You can put it out, but you have to have like a special juice.
Yeah,
put it out.
like only Jiraiya had a scroll, and he had to write in a scroll and use a jutsu to seal it up, and then only the people who can control it are the people with.
But it takes a toll on the eyes.
Yeah, it does. Like if you use the Tsukuyomi or the Amaterasu too much, you go blind. Unless you steal someone else's Mangekyo Sharingan and use it on yourself.
I feel like Akashi invented something else with it. Because I think didn't he invent another move?
Sort of.
That was pretty bad. I can't remember what it is.
No, it's like it's like a teleportation technique he uses with it, and then he throws like lightning shuriken in it, and he does. It's really weird, but it's pretty smart though. All right, number 3.
My number 3 is gonna go to Natsu's lightning fire dragon.
I love that one.
That was the best one he ever did. You see, dude, that thing went across the ocean. I was like,
didn't it destroy Hades' ship too? Basically, destroy his ship.
No, he's just sitting there underneath all the rocks, like eyes are white. He's like,
he basically what he did, guys, is that when he went into this lightning flame mode, like this ship, like this magic ship was big.
It was huge.
It was big, and this move was so powerful, it basically turned most of it into rubble. Not all of it, but most of it into rubble.
I know you didn't watch the whole thing, but dude, this thing went across the ocean, and Jay was like, damn.
Yeah, and he put all of his power into that. He was just like, oh, damn, I think I used a little too much power on that one.
I just love how after he's like, hey, you came to me now, I'm a lightning fire. Just passes out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that'd be next.
My number 2, actually, both my number 1 and number 2 are all Dragon Ball.
Me too.
Same.
My number 2 is the other, that I think is the other iconic Dragon Ball Z move, a little bit more than the Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb is awesome.
The Spirit Bomb.
I didn't include that in mine, but that's a good one.
Because it's so kind of iconic, seeing Goku with the bomb or the small
energy.
And he's getting energy from, first of all, the Spirit Bomb is more complicated than a lot of these other ones because you actually need other people to help you make this. Like all these other ones, like you can just do it on your own. This one you actually need help to make this. And the Spirit Bomb has become what a lot of people call a MacGuffin, which is it comes in and saves the day. It has become kind of that move to save the day.
It only worked. It only really worked once.
Twice.
And Vegeta.
Twice. Vegeta and Boo.
It killed Boo.
Didn't kill him.
It was pure evil.
It didn't beat Vegeta. It hurt him, but it didn't.
But it didn't kill Frieza.
But he had to crawl back and shit.
I think it wasn't strong enough to destroy all of them.
Whatever.
But yeah, the Spirit Bomb is definitely one of the most, because it's the move that for a long time when Dragon Ball Z first came out, you cannot tell me every time something really got bad, you're like Spirit Bomb. You thought it in your head, Spirit Bomb. That's how you're gonna take care of the problem. Spirit Bomb. Where is it?
But Goku likes to challenge. He likes to drag out the fight and
that's actually one of his biggest flaws, in my opinion.
He's just saying he loves to fight,
and that's why they say he lost the Super.
Well, even Vegeta doesn't really call it quits.
Yeah, Vegeta's a prince.
Whatever.
Actually,
Anyway.
he's a king technically.
Technically.
My number 2.
Number 2.
My number 2 is Special Beam Cannon Piccolo.
Special Beam Cannon.
Basically, I love this move
Also,
because
it looks good.
yeah, the spiral. That's why I love it. When I was a kid, guys, every time I draw like heroes fighting, I always draw a guy shooting a beam with like a spiral in a straight line and a little orb around it. I always draw that.
There's a lot of
Because
this.
it's cool.
There's a lot of this in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and he's doing this, he's charging it up with his head, and then he goes, special beam,
I almost put that one move Frieza does, like this.
the death beam.
The death beam. I'm almost put that in there. There's a lot of Dragon Ball Z.
He basically uses his finger. Chink.
When he, like, you.
Oh yeah, his supernova. It's just a little tiny ball. And it's just like, oh, what the hell is that going to do?
I didn't choose any Piccolo's moves, but in honorable mentions for Piccolo, the Hell Zone grenade, the Light grenade, those two moves from the Android Saga were his best ever.
But Dragon Ball Z has some of the best ones. The Gallic Gun from the Big
Bang attack.
Big Bang attack.
Big Bang Kamehameha.
My number 2 is one of Vegeta's, probably one of his coolest scenes, the Final Flash.
Final Flash, I'm thinking about that.
Final Flash.
I think at one point he combined the Big Bang,
And the Gallic Gun.
and the Gallic Gun. I think he combined it with the Final Flash. I think called the Big Bang Final Flash.
No, I didn't. It was I remember like the only move he did after that series that he really did was the fun. It was the
Big Bang Kamehameha.
there's that. That's when he and Goku fused. There's the final shine attack he made in GT, but that's not really canon. But I think what you're thinking of is the move like he did the Super Gallic Gun in video games, where it's like it looks like it's a ball, but he actually just turns it into a blast. But either way, like the final shine, not final shine, the final flash attack against Cell, that was probably one of his best moments ever. That scene was sick. Cell thought you see the look at him, he's like, oh shit! Like he literally says in there, he's like, shit.
Pretty much.
Final Flash. But I think, don't we all have the same number one?
We all the same number ones, guys. And
3, 2, 1.
Kamehameha. I thought you guys were just going to say the Kamehameha. Just the Kamehameha.
Who cares? It's the Kamehameha.
The Turtle Devastation Wave.
I'd probably announce the Kamehameha wave.
It's kind of funny because we had Goku as the number one animated character.
He's just so
We had Goku's move as the number one animated move.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows.
Every kid please try to.
It's iconic.
Like everyone knows that. Everyone can do it. Everyone can.
The very first appearance of the Kamehameha wave
was Dragon Ball.
It was Master Roshi
He destroyed
an entire mountain on fire. He's like, whew, I've gotten rusty.
He destroyed. What was it? The Ox King's castle.
It was huge.
What was it like? The Mountain of Eternal Fire or something like that, and then the only way to put it out was by a fan.
Goku's just like, can you teach me that? Good try, kid. It'll take you 50 years to master the Kamehameha.
And he just destroys a car. He destroys a car.
It's kind of funny because it's a very versatile move. Like you can move it.
I know.
You got enough control. You can literally shoot it and like move it.
Instant transmission.
Or they got the Super Command Wave,
Instant transmission.
Father-son Kamehameha Wave.
Father-son Kamehameha
The family
Wave.
from the second Broly movie.
They have different versions of the Kamehameha
Not only
Wave.
in Dragon Ball, in the World Tournament against Piccolo, he used his feet for it.
Oh
As a
yeah.
thruster.
And it's Goku's go-to move.
The Kamehameha Wave.
It's really his he uses it like to kind of like every move. I've never seen a fight with Goku where he didn't go
Use the
to
Kamehameha Wave. Not only that, it's been used, but it's so universally used in the series. Because think about it, Goku knows
Krillin
it.
do it.
Krillin knows it. Yamcha knows it.
Yeah.
Tien used it once.
Cell uses it.
Cell uses it. Boo's used it. Who else has used it? I'm trying to think.
That's about it.
No, there's more. I'm trying. Gohan. Goten's used it.
Because it's not, and it's such an
Well,
accessible.
Gohan's main move is the Masenko. That's his main move.
It's such an
Trunks used
accessible
it
move.
once.
I almost put Trunks to disruptive disc in his voice. Krillin's a disruptive.
Now, Trunks is the burning attack. That's his special.
Burning attack.
He does all the things with his hands. And I think that's where Naruto got the hand signs from, was from him. When he had to do all the things with his hands, he goes, burning attack! I almost put the ball. What the hell's that going to do?
I think, Shadow Clone Jutsu. I
almost put the multi Shadow Clone Jutsu.
I think that is from the after image technique. Because remember they made copies of themselves in Dragon Ball?
But they weren't really, real people.
They were able to make them like that, though, eventually.
I don't know. Well, I think that's where, Naruto got the hand signs from.
Well, I mean,
because that is so similar.
Said Dragon Ball was a huge influence for him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Dragon Ball's a huge influence for everyone.
It influenced Naruto, Bleach, Fairy Tail, a bunch of other stuff.
So many others. I know, but it's just like, I think, my personal opinion is that I think that's where they got the whole hand sign thing from, was from Trunks doing that to create the burning attack.
But
I'm surprised Yeah, the Naruto, they didn't have like a burning attack jutsu in there. They were just like, burning attack jutsu!
They do.
Not only that, probably the coolest.
Sasuke does it.
The coolest Kamehameha moment.
You don't know what
was the clash.
That's just called the fireball jutsu.
It's still freaking burn.
But still.
Dude, best Kamehameha.
But they had a tailed beast. The five tails was named Son Goku.
Was between Gohan and Cell during the clash in the fight with Cell. Like, remember Gohan used a one-handed the father-son?
Well, yeah, his arm was broken.
Dude, just when he overpowers him and just walks through the wave, just keeps doing it. I was like, that's so sick.
Yeah, and he basically vaporized Cell. That's the one thing. That's the one thing with Dragon Ball Z. Every anime they face, just they're vaporized.
Oh, yeah.
You can't defeat them. Wait, what did I say?
I mean, they have to be.
Well, except Vegeta.
That's true.
Vegeta was wounded. Yeah, he's the only villain that was wounded. Everyone else you can't
wasn't
wound.
vaporized until Trunks got to him. Trunks cut him up into bits and then vaporized him.
Well, Goku vaporized him.
No, remember he started in space like
he's in pieces. He's in pieces. And that's another thing. Is Frieza a solid chunk of body? There's no veins. There's blood, but there's no veins or anything. Just solid chunks of meat. I was like, what the fuck? How the hell do you reproduce? Whatever. Anyway, guys, those are our top 5 anime moves of all time. Next, we'll probably do maybe soon like anime weapons. Because we have a lot of anime weapons. Well,
there's tons.
There's tons of anime weapons you can use. Like for instance,
Edward's arm.
Yeah, like Edward's arm, the Shadow Shuriken, the Demon Wind Shuriken.
There's a lot of weapons.
Demon Wind Shuriken.
We're not counting abilities as weapons, are we?
No.
Okay.
No, we're talking about physical blades, swords, knives, guns.
There's Trunks' swords.
I like
Ronnie Kane's reverse blade sword.
But that's
Bleach's blade.
He's the
Zanpakuto.
Yeah, Berserk, his freaking Dragon Slayer sword.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on
Come Get Movie Show.
And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of us. And we will see you
on the next one.